Hello there guys, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Hunters video. Star Wars Celebration ended last night with the excitement of London being the location for the next year's convention, so I will be going to that, so I hope to see many of you there. But on Saturday at this year's celebration we had a Star Wars Hunters panel that promised to give us insights into the game's development as well as a look at some upcoming content. Personally, I was expecting the panel to be streamed as well, however it wasn't streamed and we didn't find out anything new about the game, which is a real shame as it was a great opportunity for the game to get even more exposure. Now I don't want to jump to conclusions and blame Zynga for it, or Lucasfilm for that matter, as ultimately I don't know what went on behind the scenes, and at the end of the day it's probably that they're both to blame for the lack of coverage. Before I dive into that though, I will say that Hunters did have a really cool exhibition that allowed people to play the game and get some cool posters, etc. So it's really great to see that the game did get a lot of exposure in a physical sense at Celebration, and I do think they did a really good job with that. And also the panel did show off some really cool concept art as well that's on screen for you now, so that is also really cool to see. With that said, the panel not being streamed is a huge bummer, as there would have been at least 30,000 people watching that stream or more when the Hunters panel was happening, so that would have been huge for the game, as I know a lot of people don't actually know about the game or they've completely forgotten about its existence. The fact that they didn't reveal any new details about the future of the game despite originally planning to makes me think that the panel was actually meant to be streamed originally, but perhaps it got changed closer to the day, so as there was no stream of the panel, it was thought best to not share any news on upcoming content. Ultimately, it was a very disappointing weekend for Star Wars Hunters, and despite being a huge Star Wars event, we're left knowing just as much as we did before the event, but obviously after. The release of the game truly feels like it's approaching, despite the fact that we don't even have a release date. The first Battle Pass ended a few hours ago as of this video going live, so I'm really interested to see where they go next with that, and as a whole the game in terms of its content and the systems implemented feels like it's pretty much launch ready. All they really need to do for me to be ready for launch is to add Aaron Tal, another hunter for the tank class, and perhaps another 2 to 3 maps, which could then be one per mode, which I think could potentially be done in an update that essentially launches the game. Now, despite the disappointment of the weekend, the Star Wars Hunters website had a huge change on Friday. Whilst the homepage is essentially the same, they've now added a section for the game, the characters and the latest news. News can of course still be found at the bottom of the homepage, but if you take a look at the game page, it goes into some really cool details about the lore of the game, with specific lore of the planet Vespara, which is where the game is set, the Hutt ship, which is the big ship that floats above the maps, as well as some lore and descriptions of each individual map in the game, in which there are currently 8 across the 3 game modes. If you take a look at the characters page, you can have a look at all of the characters with these cool backgrounds that showcase their class. The pinkish red is damage, the blue is support, and the orange is tank, and the black is coming soon. If you then click on any hunter of your choice, you can read through their character bio and much more. Every hunter has a paragraph about who they are and then a few sentences about their friends and or allies. For example, Groz here is good friends with Zaina as she followed his Huttball career with great interest and really wants to see her succeed in the arena as well. Next to the bio is the hunter's weapons, and if you scroll down you can have a look at each of the hunter's abilities with a description and video showcase. So despite having a hugely disappointing weekend for the game due to the lack of news, the website did get a huge update, so I'm really hoping we get to see a release date and some kind of news at some point in the near future. It is the Summer Games Fest next week, so there's always a chance that Hunters might appear there, but we will just have to wait and see, and I don't want to get my hopes up too much. As always guys, I will do my absolute best to keep you up to date with the latest news for Star Wars Hunters, and of course Star Wars gaming in general, so be sure to subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on. That is it from me though guys, thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.